in our area certainly has been hit with some severe flooding the past couple of years, most severely during Tropical Storm Ida at the beginning of September of 2021.
No place harder hit, though, than Queens. Look at this video. The storm dropped a record amount of rainfall, more than 3 inches in 1 hour. 13 people died in the city, including 6 in the district of Congresswoman Grace Meng, a district that includes Flushing, Forest Hills, and Middle Village.
So Representative Meng joining us now with some news for her district, big news, and some big dollars. Congresswoman Meng, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be back on.
Yeah, it's great to have you here to talk to us about this money that you're getting really to combat flooding issues in Queens. Now, we know that the flood prevention funding is contained in a much larger bill, right? The National Defense Authorization Act. But this is a big deal. How is this going to affect your neighborhood?
Sure. Well, as you guys mentioned, Queens was the hardest hit county of the whole city during Hurricane Ida a little over a year ago. And I have been to so many homes and basements and neighborhoods here in Queens and have talked to the families who lost loved ones and families who have spent all their life savings trying to repair their homes again. And after that hurricane, with subsequent rains, which weren't as heavy, they still suffered flooding in their homes. And so we've been working with Senator Schumer to create this new grant, this new pot of money. It's about $120 million worth that will allow the city and the Army Corps of Engineers to work together specifically to help the families of Queens rebuild.
Absolutely. We know these homes need to be fixed. The infrastructure needs to be fixed. Do you foresee any problems in actually getting this money allocated?
Well, we hope not. We are already matching up the city with the Army Corps. We are going to come up with a specific list of projects. We want the money to go towards fixing our infrastructure right here in Queens, our sewers, our catch basins. We need to make sure that this doesn't happen again, especially here in Queens.
Yeah, and and there were some dramatic images that we saw, including this body camera video. I'm sure you've seen it, right? Released by the NYPD as they were desperately trying to save a family trapped in flash flooding in their basement apartment. 3 residents died there. So was that your district? And what is being done to prevent specifically basement apartments, right? Because we saw huge issues there from flooding like that again.
Yeah, we had gone the next morning to so many families, and we have seen over and over again videos just like this one, families scrambling to get out, families who just made it out alive, and some who lost their loved ones, who could not get the door open in time within a matter of seconds. And so we need to make sure that our catch basins, our sewers are being cleared and cleaned consistently and timely, but also we need to make sure that our infrastructure can handle the storms of today with climate change. We need to make sure that families don't have to suffer through this again.
Absolutely. We understand $120 million now earmarked for preventing more damage from flooding. Is this just for Queens, or can this money be also used elsewhere?
We have fought for infrastructure money for the entire city, but this pot is for our Queens families.
You're mentioning the catch basins and things like that. That is a huge deal. But obviously, you mentioned the infrastructure. That is a huge problem. And oftentimes residents say, okay, great, the money's been allocated and we've talked about it, but these are huge projects that are going to take some time. So what's the realistic timeline beyond catch basins of looking at infrastructure and getting things done?
Yeah, well, we are happy that the city is willing to work with us on this. We know and they know that this is a priority. The city agencies have been very responsive, but there are simple fixes beyond what the average renter or homeowner can do. Our families have been spending their own money with little help, not enough help from FEMA and from the city. And so we need this additional money to come in to put the projects on the list and get working on them ASAP.
Okay. And in terms of a timeline here, do we know how long this infrastructure project is actually going to take?
I can't give a timeline. I can't predict, but we are prioritizing this in our office and with the city.
All right, Congresswoman Grace Meng, appreciate you being here. Appreciate you fighting to get that money in for so many of those residents who desperately want to see some help put into their communities. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you.
Thank you.